Every like, every comment, and every subscriber gives me motivation daily to bringing you guys the best MMA content on YouTube. Really goes a long way, especially in terms of motivation. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Trippy Speaks UFC. We are the champions of the MMA content creation world. The rest of the world is just contenders. They just aren't on our level. So let's talk Alexander Volkanovski. At the time of this recording, Alexander Volkanovski has beaten the likes of Brian Ortega, Max Holloway twice, Jose Aldo, and Chad Mendes, and I'm starting to see, like every fighter or every champion after every single one of their wins, I'm starting to see conversations and questions asking, is he in contention for the GOAT? And some of them are even just straight up calling Alexander Volkanovski the GOAT. Okay, let me just say this. He's not either of those things. But let's just talk about his longevity as champion, and honestly, who can beat him? Who can beat Alexander Volkanovski if he'll even ever lose? Actually, let's just talk about why no one can beat him. Here's why nobody can beat Alexander Volkanovski. Number one, I'm going to break this down into three parts. Number one, he has a complete game. So Alexander Volkanovski isn't just in one dimension. He can wrestle. He can strike, he can punch, he can do all these things. He can take it where he needs to take it. And that's the thing, is that when you have a complete game, when you have all the tools necessary, you end up being a really hard fighter to beat. And I've been high on this. I've been saying this for a minute to a lot of the casual fans, is that in order to succeed in this game, in order to be great, you can succeed for a long time being a specialist, but in order to be great, you need to have some form of everything. You need to have other tools that you can pull out of the toolbox. Because in my opinion, if you're a specialist in just one area, eventually you're going to get caught. Eventually something's going to happen. So I understand there's the likes of Israel Adesanya out there and like one-dimensional wrestlers out there. But Israel Adesanya right now, in my opinion, when I look at it, he's really the only just specialist that I see right now. You know, Kamaru Usman, I don't consider him a specialist. He has the wrestling, he has plenty of tools. But in my opinion, to be great, just like Usman, just like all these champions, Oliveira, all these guys, is that even Robert Whittaker, he's not a champion anymore, but he was. But in order to be great in this sport, you need to have a complete game. And Alexander Volkanovski has it in a scary way. Number two is that the guy just adapts. He adapts. And what I mean by that is, because a lot of people get confused by that, is that anywhere the fight goes, if it's a high volume striker who's going to constantly put it in his face, pause. But if it's a high volume striker who's constantly in his face, if it's a wrestler, if it's a jiu-jitsu guy like how we just saw, if it's any of these different styles, Alexander adapts and he finds a way to beat them and make you play his game. That is the thing. He makes you play his game. His game. He makes you fight in the style that is more suitable for him. And if you have a style, which happened in the Max Holloway fight, that is a detriment, maybe you have him beat in one area, then he will mix it up and he will make you fight his game because he knows in a complete game you can't beat him there. Facts. And here's another big reason. Number three, he is durable. The guy has an iron chin. But he gets caught and he gets dropped, but his recovery stays intact. He gets up and he doesn't let you well off on him or even finish him. We literally just saw this. He literally almost got choked out by Brian Ortega. The guy is a tough guy. He slipped out of the choke and he literally started pounding Ortega's face, turning his face into freaking ground beef. Yeah, mashing him up. Which brings me to my next point. The reason why he was able to do that is the guy is mentally bulletproof. There is nowhere you can take him to make him quit, to make him give up, to make him consider why he even fights, to make him question himself in there. Why? Because the guy, in his eyes, has that kill or be killed mentality that is also extremely important in the game of mixed martial arts. Extremely important. Mentally, you can't get to this guy. You can't even get under his skin. The guy is just, he was pissed at Brian Ortega. Still touched the gloves whenever it was time to touch the gloves. Still gave him high fives during every fight. When Brian Ortega got in his face and wanted to talk that crap, Volkanovski gave it back to him. So with all of this mixed, What is my conclusion? Can somebody beat him? Well, I'll say this. I think the guys that have the best shot to beat him are Sabit, Brian Ortega, which he just lost, and number one being Max Holloway. Now, I hear a lot of Korean Zombie. I hear a lot of Yair Rodriguez. But the truth is that those styles is the styles where he can go, okay, he can adapt to whatever they bring. Now, you got fighters who are hard to adapt to. And that is the three guys I just named. They're hard to adapt to. You got to find ways around them. Otherwise, you're just going to lose in their area. So that is why whenever you have him beat in a lot of areas, whenever you cover a lot of areas in his complete game, when you have him beat in a lot of areas, that's when Volkanovski really has to think, and he really has to, quote, adapt, and really has to find a way to beat you. That is whenever he struggles the most. But he still gets it done somehow. So those are the top three guys I see giving him the best challenge. He beats those three guys that I just named. He beats Zabit. He beats Holloway. There's no way Yair beats him. There's no way the Zombie beats him. I know a lot of people, unless you get him into a brawl, but really, that's it. There's no way, if he could take the Zombie shots, there's no way the Zombie beats him. There's no way Aldo comes back and beats him. I go down the list. Yeah, there's a lot of these guys. Giga Jikaze, maybe. Edson Barboza, no. All these guys, nope. Calvin Kattar, hell to the no. So, Brian or Alexander Volkanovski has, in my opinion, a bright light at the end of the tunnel. The guy has severe longevity in this sport, and we're just going to have to deal with it. But let me know.